Big, bold and surprisingly affordable, Jeep's Grand Cherokee is a proper yet luxurious large 5-seater 4x4 SUV that will cope with difficult off-road terrain but still maintain its composure on the tarmac. There's a V8 petrol at the top of the lineup, but the range in the UK depends upon the 3-litre diesel that's a very good unit. Build quality is reasonable, and there's been an improvement in some of the interior materials used which previously weren't quite as plush as in pricier rivals. Overall, this is still a strong contender. How markets change. When the Mark I Jeep Grand Cherokee first appeared on these shores in the early 1990s, it was a Range Rover rival. Today, the luxury 4x4 market is no longer that simple. If you want a Range Rover today or something similar like a Porsche Cayenne, then you're looking at £60,000 to £70,000. Even something not quite as fancy but similarly upmarket like a BMW X5, a Audi Q7 or a Mercedes M-Class will cost you in the £40,000 to £50,000 bracket. And that all seems rather excessive when a really desirable luxury SUV like Jeep's third generation Grand Cherokee, the model we're looking at here, can be yours for significantly less. The money that Jeep asks isn't that much more than you'd pay for the plushest versions of compact 4x4s, cars that can't match this model's size, its tough quality, or of course its prowess in the rough stuff. The Mark III Grand Cherokee was introduced in 2005, while a package of changes in 2008 gave its interior the look and feel of more prestigious luxury rivals. Two engines are offered. A 6.1 litre V8 monster tops the pile, but most UK customers will end up with the 3 litre CRD diesel that I'm driving here. Now, this is a state-of-the-art common rail Mercedes unit, and it develops 215 brake horsepower, and that's good enough for an extremely encouraging 93 brake horsepower per tonne. Now compare that with the rather puny 69 brake horsepower per tonne that's developed by the 187 brake horsepower Land Rover Discovery. Now that means that the Jeep is significantly quicker. That and a 400 kilogram weight advantage. It's 3.5 seconds to 60 from rest quicker than the Land Rover Discovery, which makes it also significantly faster than more obvious rivals like Mitsubishi Shogun or Toyota's Land Cruiser 3 litre. As a result, in some respects, it's a far more usable everyday tool than the Discovery, with ride quality that matches the pricier Land Rover on the motorway, if not on as well surfaced roads. Now, the mid-range torque of the CRD diesel engine is predictably excellent, and it peaks at 376 pounds per feet. Now that means that towing heavy loads is no problem at all. It also means that trickling through tricky off-road sections at little more than idling speed is very easy. In fact, this is one of the few luxury 4x4s you'd really want to take properly off-road. A clever quadra-drive 2 all-wheel drive system uses no fewer than 3 limited slip differentials to help extricate the car from tricky situations. And in fact, the car can get grip in a muddy spot even when only one of the wheels has traction. Hill descent control is standard on the diesel, and there's independent front suspension for improved wheel articulation, so that even when the suspension is fully extended off-road, you've got all 4 wheels squarely planted on the tarmac or wherever you are. On tarmac, the stability control system works in concert with an electronic rollover mitigation setup. Now, that anticipates critical situations that could lead to a rollover scenario, nipping at the brakes and reducing engine torque to keep this high-sided vehicle dirty side down. Now, that's peace of mind that you'd be glad of if you're at the wheel of the top V8 420 brake horsepower model, a car with all-American charisma that can even run on 4 cylinders when cruising to save fuel. Now, this third generation Grand Cherokee will appeal to the same kind of people as the previous 2 generations did, the people with those kind of active lifestyles. And Jeep's designed it that way, keeping this car's legendary off-road prowess, but adding a more rewarding on-road driving experience. Hence the stiffer chassis, the independent suspension, the better aerodynamics and the sharper rack and pinion steering. There's 90mm more in the wheelbase, although for a car that's so much bigger than its predecessor, you might expect a little bit more room in the interior. Mind you, those who do get to travel do so in style. The soft touch finish for the dashboard, the classier interior colours, the finer textures, all introduced as part of the 2008 upgrade, make this Grand Cherokee a classy thing to ride in. The wheel adjusts for rake as well as reach, that's in and out as well as up and down, and everything falls to hand beautifully, from the smartly trimmed armrest to the cup holders. Boot space ranges between 978 and 1,909 litres, depending on whether you fold the split folding rear seats. This is a nice touch too. You've got this panel which you can take out and fold over, where it creates a sturdy, wipe clean surface for muddy boots and dogs. Most Grand Cherokees are sold in the £30,000 to £35,000 bracket, although you'll need a budget of around £40,000 if you've got your eye on the top SRT8 V8 derivative. Now, obvious rivals include Land Rover's slightly pricier Discovery 3 or less prestigious alternatives like Toyota's Land Cruiser 3 litre or Mitsubishi's Shogun. Obvious rivals aim to trump the Grand Cherokee by offering 7-seat capability. But Jeep points out quite rightly that many buyers in this sector don't want it. What they do want is plenty of luxury kit as standard, and Jeep is able to deliver that in spades. Take the Overland version that I'm driving here. It comes complete with satellite navigation, dual zone climate control, 18-inch alloy wheels and a Boston Acoustics stereo. Go for the top of the range SRT8 derivative and you get an SUV with real presence, thanks to a striking body kit and 20-inch alloys. Despite the extra performance available from the 3-litre CRD diesel in comparison with some rivals, it's surprisingly frugal at the pumps for a car of this kind. You can expect 27.7 miles to the gallon on the combined cycle, and that's a figure that makes keeping the right side of 30 miles to the gallon in regular use a distinct possibility. CO2 emissions are 270 grams per kilometre, and insurance groupings for the diesel range between 13 and 15. Well, this Grand Cherokee tends to be rather overlooked by customers in this sector of the market, perhaps a little unfairly. After all, it's robust, capable, surprisingly fast and very well equipped. If you'd like a prestigiously badged 5-seater luxury 4x4 but thought you couldn't afford it, then this Jeep is well worth a look.